Hello. Welcome to episode 2 of the new series. The Youngblood Bros presents Mysteries of the Cold Cases. This cold case is the cold case of what happened to Amelia Earhart.
On June 1st, 1937, Amelia Earhart took off on an eastbound flight around the world. It was her second attempt to become the first pilot ever to circumnavigate the globe. She, along with her flight navigator Fred Noonan, depart Leh, and they would make their way to tiny Howland Island, but they would never arrive. What Earhart was trying to accomplish at the time was such a big deal, and so when they disappeared, this huge search is launched for them, but they can't find them, and after 2 weeks, they officially declared they were lost at sea and most likely dead. 3 years later, a British scientist was on this tiny little uninhabited island called Niku Maroro, and they made a startling discovery. He found an incomplete skeleton next to what looked like the remains of a campfire. Because of Niku Maroro's proximity to Howland Island, everybody speculated that this has got to be the body of either Amelia Earhart or Noonan. The bones were sent to 2 doctors in Fiji, and they unfortunately said, no, this isn't Earhart or Noonan, this is somebody else. And everybody just kind of forgot about it until 2017, when a forensic anthropologist decided to manually re-examine the measurements of the bones that were taken off of Niku Maroro Island and compare them to real measurements of Amelia Earhart. They discovered that clearly those doctors in Fiji had made a mistake, because the measurements of these bones match Amelia Earhart almost exactly. So researchers go back to Niku Maroro Island and they find a couple 1930s era glass bottles, and one of them is a freckle cream, and Amelia Earhart had lots of freckles and she liked to use freckle cream to cover them up. So while some scientists are putting their energy into confirming that yes, those bones were Amelia Earhart, and there's another group of scientists and researchers that are saying, let's figure out what happened to her once she got to Niku Maroro Island. And the leading theory is horrifying. Although Niku Maroro Island is uninhabited by people, it is inhabited by one of the scariest creatures on the planet, the coconut crab. They're 3 feet long, they can carry at least 6 times their body weight, and they use their pincers that are as strong as a lion's jaw to rip open coconuts, which is their main source of food. But coconuts are not the only thing they eat. They'll also eat pigs, they'll eat each other, they'll even eat themselves. And they have a really keen sense of smell, and they can smell blood. So when one of the crabs goes up and grabs a bird and starts ripping it apart, the thousands of others will come charging over and swarm the birds, and they'll all try to get in on the action. And so the theory goes, Earhart and Noonan are making their way to Howland Island, and they wind up crash landing 350 miles away on Niku Maroro Island on one of the reefs. Noonan probably dies on impact, and Earhart, who's badly wounded and probably bleeding, she gets onto the island and she makes her way up to that area where that campfire was found. But in her weakened state and bleeding, at some point she probably attracted the coconut crabs, who one night came out and swarmed her, ripped her to pieces, and ate her. On June 1st, 1930.
Okay? That's a crazy series. Niku Maroro Island. Wow. Coconut crabs? Wow. Now, honestly, I do think this theory could be true for a lot of different reasons. So back then, there was this phone call or radio. This is a true story. It happened around Fiji. So an old woman and her husband were chilling in their living room, where the radio started crackling. This is Amelia Earhart. I need help. There's coconut crabs. So, what do? They go to the police. Now, the police doesn't believe them. So, was that Amelia Earhart? Or was it just some random folk trying to prank them? But, the theory, coconut crabs, Amelia Earhart. Like, could it match? Maybe. she could have crashed on the Kororo Island, and coconut crabs were like, "Hey, we're hungry. We're gonna eat you." So yeah. Oh, here's a story I learned from Expedition Unknown. Shout out to Josh Gates. So in Fiji, some boys, 13-year-olds, discovered bones under their house while they were playing hide and seek. Now, they were bones in a box, and that made national news. And that led to the police and museums getting involved. And one museum kept the bones, but those bones went missing. So no one knows what happened to those bones. They did find a remnant of the bones in 2015 when the show first released. But yeah. Amelia Earhart, that could have been her bones. She might not have died to coconut crabs. Who knows? But how would her plane crash? Did it run out of fuel? Did someone sabotage their plane? Or did Amelia crash it on purpose? Who knows?
Amelia.
Let me give you some more war. Expedition Unknown. Amelia Earhart. So you see, Josh, he's trying to find Amelia. This was the first ever episode. No underwater drone reached the Electra.
After 87 years of mystery, Amelia Earhart's plane was finally found on January 24th, 2024. The discovery closed a long chapter of curiosity about her 1937 disappearance. Renowned explorer Robert Ballard led the quest to find Earhart's Lockheed Electra, focusing on Nikumaroro, an atoll in the Pacific where Earhart...
She crashed near Nikumaroro. Holy God. Wait 1 second, I'm big braining. Amelia Earhart. So, in 1937, she went on a world flight tour. Okay? But she goes missing along with her plane, the Electra. So now, where is her plane? Well, I'm dumb. We just saw where the plane went. The plane was found, crashed near, hopefully I get this right, Nikumaroro. Oh wait. Nikumaroro Island. I'm not sure if I even spelled that right. So, the Electra was found sunk near the island. Now, did they find Amelia's body in the Electra? Well, that's something we should look up. When they found the Electra near Nicororo Island, did they find Amelia Earhart's body in there? Because if that was true, then they found Amelia. No human remains was found in the Electra. Oh, that means she must have escaped. So now, where did she go? She probably went to the nearest mainland, Nicororo Island. That is so hard to pronounce. So, plane crash. Amelia went to the island as it was closest. No human remains found in sunken plane. So, now that we know all this about how they found the Electra and where Amelia went, like where Amelia was, where would Amelia have died? Well, they did find bones. Bones from the 30s. Oh. On Nicororo Island. And these bones came with freckle cream. I have no clue how to spell freckle. Oh, thank you all. Amelia had freckles and used freckle cream. So, along with the plane near Nicororo Island, bones from the 30s were found there, and they came with freckle cream. Amelia used freckle cream with her freckles. So now, how did she die? Well, in the video it said coconut crabs. I do not want to mess with them crabs. I'm not going to Nicororo Island. Like, if there are man-eating crabs on that island, count me out. But if they do, like, maybe take some DNA samples, maybe they can trace it back to Amelia Earhart if she did take a DNA test back then, so that way they know what her DNA looks like. So that way they can trace the DNA to her. But no one knows what happened to Amelia. But the whole point of Mysteries of the Cold Cases is that we solve cold cases. We attempt to solve them. So my theory is that Amelia Earhart crashed near Nicaragua Island and died to coconut crabs. Because in the video it did say she was badly injured. Like, let me find that video.
On June 1st, 1937, Amelia Earhart.
Okay?
It is inhabited by one of the scariest creatures on the planet, the coconut crab. They're 3 feet long, they can carry at least 6 times their body weight, and they use their pincers that are as strong as a lion's jaw to rip open coconuts, which is their main source of food. But coconuts are not the only thing they eat. They'll also eat pigs, they'll eat each other, they'll even eat themselves. And they have a really keen sense of smell, and they can smell blood. So when one of the crabs goes up and grabs a bird and starts ripping it apart, the thousands of others will come charging over and swarm the birds, and they'll all try to get in on the action. And so the theory goes, Earhart and Noonan are making their way to Howland Island, and they wind up crash landing 350 miles away on Nicaragua Island on one of the reefs. Noonan probably dies on impact, and Earhart, who's badly wounded and probably bleeding, she gets onto the island and she makes her way up to that area where that campfire was found. But in her weakened state and bleeding, at some point she probably attracted the coconut crabs, who one night came out and swarmed her, ripped her to pieces, and ate her. On June 1st, 1930.
Okay. So, on Nicaragua Island, Amelia Earhart probably crashed near the island and died to coconut crabs. But do we know this? No. It's just a theory. But could it be true? The theory has been proven by a lot of evidence, mainly from the video. Wait. Videos, true facts. Nicaragua Island with bones, coconut crabs. Oh. And freckle cream. And in 2024, her plane was found. So that's my evidence. So I will actually release this on a post soon, so that way y'all can actually see the evidence, because I don't have to go to the video on how Amelia went missing and how she died. But yeah, that is my theory on how I solved another cold case. I try to solve cold cases, and yeah. Bye, like and subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This was episode 2 Mysteries of the Cold Cases. Adios.